Hola, buenos dias. Mi nombre es Lisa. I serve gratefully as the past president of your Board of Trustees. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno in beautiful, sunny once again, Fresno, California. Welcome to everyone on our online campus, including Jamie, who is joining from her break at work. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue church campus. Everyone, no matter where you are, give yourselves a round of applause. We are one congregation in many places. We acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue church campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokuts and Mono peoples. We honor them as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. Here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, we welcome you no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. We welcome you no matter your differing abilities, neurodiversity, the amount of money in your bank account, or your level of education. You are welcome with or without documentation. Con y sin papeles. No human being is illegal at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. You are welcome if you are lesbian, gay, bi, trans, gender fluid, or non-binary. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. For those who are joining from our online campus today, we want to include you in the joys, sorrows, concerns, and gratitude section later in the service. That means right now, in your chat box, you can enter in your joys, sorrows, or concerns, and then Reverend Tim will have them later in the service. So everyone at home or online, you're typing in your chat box right now. Thank you. And now one quick announcement. We have our 6:30 p.m. Christmas Eve candlelight service happening on Friday night, that's of course Christmas Eve, on our Alluvial Avenue campus and on our virtual campus. Finally, are you a dog person or a cat person? Before our service begins, by chat box or in person here at Alluvial Avenue, let's take a moment to answer this simple question while we safely welcome one another.
No one's listening to the rattle. On this Sunday before Christmas, as we explore, and I'm a total history geek, so I'm just loving today's service, how the Unitarians gave us Christmas. Christmas as we know it exists because of Unitarians, and we're going to learn how today. So in that spirit, I invite the sound of the tingsha to carry you to that inner place that knows joy, that knows spirit, and also loves some awesome, awesome music that's coming.
or silent floods by night. Behold, throughout the heaven there shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills over everywhere. Tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ. Go, the shepherds, they feared and trembled, and lo, above the earth rang out a chorus of angels that heard the baby's birth. Go, go, tell it on the mountain, over the hills. Tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go. Down in a lowly manger, the humble babe was born, and God sent us salvation, that blessed Christmas
Good morning and buenos dias. Welcome to my home. I am Sam Zutler and I am 98 years old. In fact, just 9 weeks I'll be 99. I've been a UU for 66 years, longer than most of you have been alive. I've been a member of 7 UU churches around the United States and a member of this church in Fresno for more than 50 years. During that time, I have participated in many committees and served twice as board president. Today, I'm happy to be active on the worship arts team. Now, if you have a chalice, bring it close and we'll be lighting it very soon. So what does the lighting of the chalice mean? The flaming chalice is the official symbol of Unitarian Universalism, originally a sign of refuge for those escaping Nazi persecution. The symbol now holds meaning as varied as the thousands of UU congregations that light chalice at the beginning of their weekly services. For me, the chalice represents the connection between my Jewish heritage and my belonging to the UU Church. In that spirit, we will light the chalice. Tim, are you ready to light the chalice in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary?
Oh, Sam, our 99 almost year-old sage, yes, I am ready.
Thanks, Tim. I offer these brief words by Carl Seaborg. Then we will all kindle the flame together. Let there be joy in our coming together this morning and the season of holidays. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together. Pardon me while I light the chalice. Chalice is lit. Let us rise now in body or spirit and join in singing our song of praise. O little town of Bethlehem. If you are unvaccinated in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary, please sing in the silence of your heart.
O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark streets shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. For child is born of Mary and gathered all above. While mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wondering love. O morning stars together proclaim the holy birth. Let praises ring from love they bring, goodwill to all on earth. How silently the wonder is made known, when love imparts to human hearts the gift that is our own. No ear may hear that coming, but in this world we dim. When souls are truly humble, then the dear babe rests within.
I invite us to remain standing as we say together the words of our church covenant. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia, la búsqueda de la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es su oración. Habitar juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con libertad y servir a la humanidad juntos con el fin de que todas las almas puedan crecer en armonía con lo divino. Esto es lo que pactamos unos con otros. We affirm that love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. We strive to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. Please be seated. And if the ushers could bring me the cards, please, that would be great. Thank you. So I invite us to take a nice deep breath in, breathing in peace. Hold the moment we breathe out love. Again, breathing in peace. We hold the moment, we release and breathe out love. One more time, breathing in peace. We hold, we breathe out love. As we continue breathing together in this place made sacred by our intention to be connected and to know love, hope, and joy. We allow that breath to carry us back now as we breathe over the last 7 days, the last week, which was a gift of living. And as we breathe through those days, 2 questions appear for contemplation. The first, what was the most challenging aspect of last week? And what in the last week uplifted your spirit? And I'm just going to say to the tech team, I got a note that there are technical difficulties, so I don't know if we're streaming or not. Are we streaming?
We are, but we were not able to get the...
Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you. So, each week we come here either on Alluvial Ave or in the sacred safety of our own homes, and we bring with us the good stuff and also the baggage of the week, our joys, our concerns, our sorrows, and our hopefully deep gratitude. Some of us stop at the small table in the entrance to the sanctuary here and write that down, what's in your heart, on a card to be shared. And we at least attempt to get those from our folks on our virtual campus as well. This is just a bit of what is alive within us today. Paula S. is grateful that all her friends in Kentucky are safe after the devastating tornadoes, but remembering all those others who lost everything. Some folks, and myself included, love seeing Dick Richardson back visiting from Washington State, and all the other visitors today as well. Welcome. And Nancy H., as well as myself, share a joy. We are really happy that we had a team of Unitarian Universalists yesterday helped build a tiny home that will be providing emergency shelter to someone who is previously unhoused. And I want to thank Marilyn, Nancy, Sharon, David, Ken, Laurie, Connie, Margaret, and Karen, all for helping be the build team. And I also want to thank all those who so generously donated over $15,000 so that we were able to purchase the materials that we are transforming into that tiny house. So thank you to everyone. And we have one sorrow. Morales is grieving the loss of a dear amigo. Today we also lift up the name of our beloveds, those who are longtime members of this congregation but unable to be with us. We remember Judy P., Glenda R., Pat M., Dwayne B., and Al G. We also want to lift up the son, Brandon, the son of our longtime staff member, Jody Baker, who serves so wonderfully as our congregation's finance and facilities manager. Jody's son, Brandon, was in a very serious car accident this week. He has survived, but he has massive head trauma injuries, the extent of which we are not sure what that will mean, but we are looking, Brandon and his family are looking at a prolonged recovery of probably 6 months to a year. So please, if you believe in the power of prayer, hold Brandon, Jody, and their family. If you believe in the power of positive energy and love, please hold Brandon, Jody, and their entire family during this time of life-altering upheaval. And we do ask your understanding if over the next few weeks some things are bumpy in terms of the administration of the church that Jody normally does, because her priority is with Brandon and her family. We want to acknowledge that many of us are anticipating celebrating the winter solstice this week. So to all of our pagan friends, we say happy and blessed solstice. And although it was mentioned, we want to lift up again that our hearts are with Kentucky and the tornado death and devastation of unprecedented hurricane force winds up to 100 miles per hour, tornadoes, snow squalls, and thunderstorms also in the Midwest. This is all climate change in action. We also lift up the extraordinary life of Bell Hooks, who died this week. Bell Hooks, a leading feminist writer, thinker, a black woman of great power who challenged the white middle class feminist movement to realize it's not all about white women. She brought the black voice and presence into the discussion of feminism, empowering black, indigenous people of color. And if you would like to celebrate the extraordinary legacy of Bell Hooks, type BH in our virtual campus chat box. One last important thing for us to hold together. Multiple Afghani refugees are being resettled in Fresno beginning this week. It's an opportunity for the church as a whole to get involved, from as large as adopting a family, welcoming them and accompanying them for their first 6 months, if we choose to do that, to as small as providing arrival groceries, offering English tutoring, or orienting them to public transit. Please consider the trauma these families have undergone, fleeing for their lives with only the clothes on their backs and a suitcase. Many are those who assisted U.S. troops or were key players in rebuilding their country after the fall of the Taliban. It is our sacred obligation to welcome them to Fresno. And I hope our congregation will rise to this challenge. If you would like to become involved, just reach out to us here at the church or send an email to Patty Bennett at msc@uufresno.org. That's the letter M, the letter S, the letter C at uufresno.org. And so, for so much that has been shared, for all that we're holding in the silence and sacredness of our own hearts, and for all those who on this Sunday morning have no one to remember them with gentleness or love, we light our candle of community. By our remembering, may we and they be blessed. We light a second candle to mark the 5.36 million citizens of the world who have lost their lives in this pandemic. This candle also burns as a reminder that we have now crossed the 800,000 mark of dead Americans. Remember when 200,000 seemed as if it was an unfathomable number. And so, it seems appropriate for us as our call to meditation, comfort me, consuélame, O my soul.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Consuélame. Consuélame, consuélame, oh mi alma. Consuélame, 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 oh mi alma. Speak to me, speak to me. Speak to me, oh my soul. me, speak to me, oh my soul. Háblame, 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 oh mi alma. Háblame, 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 oh mi alma. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
Spirit of life, fuente de amor, source of all, God of our own hearts, knowing and naming, and yet truly beyond all naming and knowing. As we move through this week, this holiday season, let us honor the spiritual truths that resonate within the winter solstice. The longest night of the year, the shortest day, and then the return of the light. Let us not race to move through this dark time, because this is a time of beautiful darkness, beautiful blackness, a time of patience, of waiting, of mystery, of shadow, and that dance with light. May this solstice time be a time of awakening, of growing, of preparing for the new, yet to be known. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Hello again. I'm Sam Zutler. I was participating in a Christmas circle meeting on Zoom last week. The question for discussion were, what is your fondest childhood memory of Christmas? And are there any of those traditions that you still celebrate today? How could I answer that? I was born in New York to Jewish immigrant parents, and we didn't celebrate Christmas. We celebrated Hanukkah. We lit the menorah and said prayers, and my mother cooked latkes for us, and I remember playing with the dreidel. But Christmas traditions? To me as a boy, Christmas meant a school vacation. When I married and had children, my wife, Geneva, created an American-style holiday for our family. We decorated a tree, and Santa brought gifts for the kids. After we joined the UE Church in Berkeley, attending the Christmas service became a part of our tradition. Today, I celebrate a Unitarian Christmas. My son and his wife are practicing Jews, and we celebrate the first night of Hanukkah with them, lighting the menorah, reciting the prayers, and eating latkes. And although I have drifted apart from strict Jewish customs, I will always honor and feel proud of my Jewish heritage. Donna and I celebrate Christmas with family and friends gathering to share a meal and exchange gifts. We have attended Christmas services at this church for many years and love the company, the caroling, and enjoy a cookie with our friends. This year, we will attend the virtual service. So, do I have Christmas traditions? Yes, I suppose I do. They have changed over my lifetime to accommodate being both a Jew and a Unitarian. But the constant is family, friends, sharing, giving, and love. Always love.
Thank you, Sam, for that reminder about love, amor. And that's what we'll sing about. I invite us to rise, embody your spirit, and sing what for some of us is one of our favorite Christmas carols. It came upon the midnight clear.
It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth to all goodwill, from heaven the news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lowly plains they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its babel sounds the blessed angels sing.
Please be seated. It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. As a little boy growing up Roman Catholic, I would always get chills when we sang those lyrics at the 7 p.m. Christmas Eve Mass at St. Elizabeth's Church in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene those lyrics painted of an ancient song carried by winged messengers into a human world hushed was spiritually vivid. Peace on the earth, goodwill. From heaven the news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. As a Unitarian Universalist minister, I still get chills when I hear those words because it speaks of the world we are still trying to create here on earth. Peace, goodwill to all, not a chosen few. But as a Unitarian Universalist, I also feel great pride when I sing these words because the lyrics of this beloved Christmas carol were written by a Unitarian. Lyrics that are now an indelible part of any Christmas season. But in good Unitarian fashion, those lyrics were considered controversial, if not heretical, to many of the people who first heard or sang them. This is the history. The Reverend Edmund Sears was serving as pastor to a small Unitarian congregation out in the quiet countryside of Wayland, Massachusetts, a 3-hour horseback ride from Boston. The year is 1849. It's December, and it has been a difficult and divisive year in the United States. Do those words sound familiar to us? So this was the United States, 1849. The country is still reeling from the United States invasion of Mexico and the subsequent war, which ended just a year prior. The war was intended to expand Southern slavery westward into new land grabbed from Mexico, including California, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. After a bruising political campaign and presidential campaign, the president who enabled this miscarriage of justice was defeated, and there was a brand new occupant in the White House, President Zachary Taylor, who himself owns slaves. The country is in the wake of a natural disaster, a massive flooding of New Orleans, even as a third wave of the worldwide cholera pandemic took thousands of lives from New York City to St. Louis. 7 months prior to December 1949, there had been a deadly rioting in the streets of New York, brought on by anti-immigrant sentiment and a sense of a growing disparity between the wealthy and the working class who were feeling shut out of the American dream. The military was called in, and, according to the world's greatest source, Wikipedia, the deadliest use of military force since the Revolutionary War was used against American citizens. In that December of 1849, political tensions were propelling the country closer to civil war as conservatives and liberals battled back and forth about whether black people should be treated as property or people. Just 2 months prior, in October, the country was shocked when abolitionist John Brown led an attack on the U.S. Armory at Harper's Ferry, Virginia, in an attempt to get guns to unleash a slave revolt in the southern states. The media coverage called the attack an insurrection, a rebellion, an act of treason. All of this was weighing heavily on the heart and mind of Reverend Edmund Sears as he sat down to write Christmas words that would address the state of the country and soothe the worn and weary souls in his congregation who he knew would gather together on Christmas Eve. And so he penned lyrics voicing his opposition to war, slavery, and the racial violence of the year. It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. But with the woes of war and strife, the world hath suffered long. Beneath the angel strain have rolled 2,000 years of wrong. And we who fight the wars hear not the love song which they bring. Oh, hush the noise of battle strife. Hear the angels sing. This Unitarian Christmas carol was controversial for being anti-war at a time when the majority of the country supported an invasion that had just stolen land from Mexico. But it was also controversial for being a Christmas carol that never mentioned the baby Jesus or his birth. It was criticized for being too human-centered. Seers had written a carol that said peace on earth would only come from human beings changing their earthly behavior. Peace on earth, goodwill to all, didn't come from the salvation brought by a divine child, but through human choice. Unitarian minister Edmund Sears had written a Christmas carol that was humanist in perspective. It was shocking, it was heretical, it was wonderfully Unitarian Universalist. So, let's remain seated and sing together our anti-slavery, pro-racial justice, anti-war, pro-peace, humanist, 100% Unitarian Universalist Christmas carol, written for people worn down by the incessant babble of violent and dehumanizing political rhetoric, people who are weary and sad at the state of their country. It is as if he wrote it for us in 2021. Bernadette will lead us in singing.
It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth to all goodwill, from heaven the news we bring. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lowly plains they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its babble sounds the blessed angels sing.
So if Edmund Sears' carol is one of the most socially conscious ever written, a different Unitarian also gave us one of the most merry of songs written in the history of the holiday season. It is also one of the most popular songs in the world. It was penned just 5 years after it came upon a midnight clear in 1854, and it's a good reminder that sometimes we just need a playful and joyful escape from the tenor of the times. It was written by James Pierpont, the son of the Unitarian minister who was serving the congregation in Medford, Massachusetts. Pierpont's popular song was entitled "The One-Horse Open Sleigh," but is now known simply as Jingle Bells. Let's sing this popular Unitarian contribution to Christmas.
Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was long, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Woo!
So just think of it. We would never have gotten Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock if we hadn't first gotten our Unitarian Jingle Bells. If it wasn't for the Unitarians, we might not have other beloved parts of the Christmas season, such as Santa Claus, Christmas Eve flying reindeers and sleigh rides, Christmas trees, and the giving of gifts. So first, some background to appreciate it. Christmas was not celebrated as a common practice in the British colonies or in the first decades of the newly born United States. Pilgrims who settled on indigenous peoples' land in Plymouth 1620 did not celebrate Christmas, which they called Fool's Tide. As Harvard Divinity School professor David F. Holland said in a recent interview, the Puritans were severely conservative in their Protestant Christianity, and they saw their job as an active purification of the traditions and practices of the corrupted Roman Catholic faith, a faith they saw as not truly Christian, but as a vestige of paganism. Christmas was an easy target for their Puritan scorn, it being so clearly Catholic and also pagan in origin. The Puritans passed a law that made celebrating Christmas a criminal offense and fined anyone who was found observing any such day as Christmas, quote, whether by forbearing labor, feasting, or in any other way, and people were fined. In fact, the law against Christmas remained on the books in Massachusetts until 1856, although it had stopped being enforced, which means that in the years it came upon a midnight clear and jingle bells were written, it was technically still illegal to celebrate Christmas in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. But thankfully, times change, as the Reverend Tracy Springberry points out in her 2013 article, A Unitarian Christmas. By the early 1800s, says Reverend Springberry, many religious liberals had come to believe that Christmas could be a holiday to promote their Unitarian values of generosity and social good, and would be a wonderful way to build these values, particularly in children. Reverend Springberry remembers, quote, Unitarians at the time were obsessed with how to raise generous children with good characters. Tradition said the evil must be beaten from the child, but Unitarians did not believe that. They didn't believe in original sin, but original goodness. They also believed in character cultivation, that a child's inherent goodness could be cultivated and thus grow more fully. Still, they wondered, how did you raise a kid who was kind, generous, and good? This was brand new ground, and Unitarian parents were understandably anxious about it. Celebrating Christmas, many felt, had the potential to help. Reverend Springberry continues, in the 1800s, the Unitarians were trendsetters. They were well-educated, often wealthy, and had access to and control of the media. Unitarian thinkers began to write about Christmas, bringing their values and theology to the forefront of the conversation in America. Thus, in 1823, as Reverend Tracy Springberry points out, Unitarian author Clement Moore wrote A Visit from St. Nicholas, and the words, "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse," became a calling card for Christmas and brought us a brand new image of St. Nicholas. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. In her article, Reverend Springberry says that with the stroke of Unitarian Clement Moore's pen, the historical German Catholic bishop and St. Nicholas, known for acts of charity, was transformed into a mythic American Unitarian Santa Claus who, and here Reverend Springberry quotes author Aaron Wolfe, believed in the worth and dignity of every child and that each child deserves some kindness and pleasure. Clement Moore gave us a sleigh-riding, gift-giving Unitarian exemplar who reminds us of our responsibility to be kind and generous to one another. But the Unitarians didn't stop there. The tradition of decorating a Christmas tree in your home also originated from the Unitarians. Decorating trees outside in the forest and bringing greens into your home at solstice time is ancient and dates back to pre-Christian times in Northern Europe, and then was widely practiced in Christian Germany. But Christmas trees were not widespread in the United States until a Unitarian minister decorated what is believed to be the first Christmas tree in New England. The Reverend Charles Follen was an immigrant from Germany, and he brought this beloved custom with him and introduced it to his congregation in Concord, Massachusetts in 1832. The famed Unitarian feminist and sociologist Harriet Martineau was present when this first New England Christmas tree was unveiled, lit with burning wax candles. Not electric lights, burning wax candles. And she wrote about this historic moment, saying, "The room seemed in a blaze, and the ornaments so well hung on the tree that no accident happened except that one doll's petticoat caught fire. There was a sponge tied to the end of the stick to put out any supernumerary blaze, and no harm ensued. After that, the practice of putting up Christmas trees spread like wildfire. You're listening, you're paying attention. Like wildfire across New England, and then the entire country. Chalk another one up for the Unitarians. But perhaps the most significant Unitarian contribution to Christmas came from Unitarian author Charles Dickens, who, like many other Unitarians, wanted to reinterpret the celebration of Christmas as a way of teaching Unitarian values of generosity, kindness, and the worth and dignity of all people, not just a chosen few. Now, in England at the time, Christmas was traditionally celebrated as a hedonistic, licentious, rowdy, drunken, street-brawling, shooting guns in the air type of holiday. Charles Dickens wanted to transform this Christian way of celebrating Christmas into something more gentle, more spiritual, more socially conscious of those who were being pushed to the margins by class and poverty. In short, more Unitarian. Written in 1843, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol captured the Unitarian belief in an earthly salvation brought about by cultivating character in a child or adult. Dickens shows Ebenezer Scrooge's remarkable spiritual transformation from being the most morose and cruel person in London to being the most joyful and generous. This conversion begins when the ghost of Christmas past reminds Scrooge that it was his childhood experience of emotional abuse and neglect that triggered the hardening of his heart. This put front and center the Unitarian belief that the emotional environment in which a child is raised influences the person they will become as an adult. This was not common belief at the time. It also reflected the Unitarian conviction that every person has the ability to rehabilitate themselves and claim their inherent goodness. Unitarians did not believe in locking somebody up and throwing away the key. They believed in rehabilitation and second chances. We see in... Yes, Tim? And so we see in Scrooge, he transforms himself in A Christmas Carol from a, quote, this is Charles Dickens, tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Through A Christmas Carol, Dickens introduced new ideas and images about Christmas that over time became cherished traditions. He taught us what it means to truly celebrate Christmas, having Scrooge himself proclaim, "I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach." Charles Dickens ended his story saying, quote, "Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became a good friend, as good a master, as good a person as the good old city knew or any other good old city, town, borough in the good old world. Some laughed to see the alteration in him, but his own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any person alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, every one. Thank you, Unitarians, que así sea, bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Hello, I'm Sam Zutler again. During these past 2 years of the coronavirus pandemic, Donna and I have sheltered at home. We are both fully vaccinated and boosted, but because we are both in high-risk groups, we choose to stay in and stay safe. Being able to attend the Sunday service virtually has been a blessing. I'm so grateful to be able to continue to participate from home on Sunday morning. I've attended Zoom meetings, chalice circles, and even celebrations of life of some of the dear friends we have lost during these past 2 years. This virtual service allows me to stay connected to the church and the minister and the people I love. But this does not happen without financial support. It is vital that all of us, friends and members both, in the sanctuary and at home, continue to contribute to the Sunday collection. Please give generously so that we can be together in community to receive the message on Sunday morning. So, in this spirit, please join me in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Here's a slide showing how you can make a financial contribution right now. Or if you're on the Alluvial Avenue campus, you can always drop cash or a check in the basket on your way out of the sanctuary. Thank you in advance for saying yes. May this church continue to be worthy of the many forms of your gifts. Thank you for being here at this service this morning. And thank you also for allowing me to share this time with you. I cherish my connection to the UU Church and all the friends I've made over the years. I wish you a very happy and healthy holiday season. So as we prepare to end our service and enter into our afternoon, please join us in our chalice extinguishing words led by Karen and Troy, and I'll do the same here.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
So here's a wave to everyone on our virtual church campus and our Alluvial Avenue campus. We hope to see you at our special Christmas Eve service at 6:30 p.m. and also next Sunday morning, December 26th at 10:30 a.m. And Tim, I believe you have some reminders before our closing words. So take it away, Tim.
Let's hear it for Sam. Woo! Just a few more weeks, he'll be 99. Thank you, Sam. We love you, and we're so glad you were part of today, and you'll also be part of Christmas Eve service. So a couple things. We have a special holiday postlude today. So once we do our sung benediction and closing words, we're going to want to sit back down. Now, just like we heard about all these amazing Unitarian visionaries who were rewriting and writing new Christmas music to bring forth Unitarian values, we have our own Ian, who has written an original Christmas song that really does express Unitarian Christmas values. Ian, would you stand for a moment? Remarkable young man. And you are going to enjoy this video, instrumentals, dancing in it. It's great. So don't run out at the door. Stay for this special video. A couple other things to let you know about. As you exit, we're asking you to go through these doors. Please do allow our socially distanced folks to leave first. We do have coffee hour outside with our brand new heaters going to bring us warmth while we drink our coffee for those who want to. Today, 2 p.m. on Zoom is our annual When the Holidays Hurt service. It is a gentle, loving, quiet service of support for those of us who may be struggling during this holiday season, those of us who are grieving a loss, those of us feeling that empty melancholy that sometimes permeates the season. Do join us for this loving, gentle service. Also, as Sam said, we have Christmas Eve service at 6:30 on Friday. Christmas Day, we have a drop-in with me, and I think that's the next slide. There you go. That's at 11 a.m. on Zoom, and then we are here on the 26th for a special service as well. We have two things coming up in 2022. 2022, that sounds pretty cool. In February 6th through the 13th will be our Sweetheart of an Auction online auction. Hope you'll participate in that. And then we also have coming up in January on the 15th a musical fundraiser, Lorenzo and Company, the second edition. So we hope you will purchase tickets for this online event. We do have a tradition. that if this is your first, second, or third time, we like to welcome you. So in the chat box, if this is your first, second, or third time here on the virtual campus, please just let us know that. Type your name so that we can gently welcome you. And here on the campus, if there's anybody here for the first, second, or third time, we're going to ask you to just rise for a moment. We won't leave you standing by yourself for long. Anybody first, second, or third, welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yay, welcome, welcome. I invite everybody to rise with them. And let's join together in our closing words and then our sung benediction. These are such Unitarian words. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are good and knowing you are loved. Take your love, share it with the world. Stay safe until we meet again. And may the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and that pure light that is within you guide your way on. Blessed be. Amen.
Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love, go in peace.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum. I invite us to sit down for our special Unitarian Christmas postlude. And if you decide you want to dance, you can do that as well. Let's give it up to Ian.
Christmas is my favorite ho-ho-ho holiday. A time to melt all of the sorrows away. A time to try something new. How about you? What a wonderful Christmas is to heal all of the hurtful-hearted people. For just 1 year, send a message of cheer. For just 1 year. All of the killing, but focus on the healing light inside us. For just 1 year, send a message of cheer. For just 1 year, for just 1 year. On your wish list that isn't materialistic? Is it help for the helpless? Is it a random act of kindness? Is it a plan so elaborate that unity will start to take shape? Is it a sea of magic to flood all of the tragedy away? What else is there to know? Home is a home, everyone should know. The heart is meant to grow. What else is there to know? What a wonderful Christmas is to heal all of the hurtful-hearted feelings. For just 1 year, to end our fear. For just 1 year, to end all of the killing. Just 1 year, send a message of cheer. For just 1 year, for just 1 year. Just 1 year.
up, Ian. Come on up. Come on up. Yep, come on up. Yep. Woo! Just take a bow. Woo! Thank you. Merry Christmas.